Hello, my spooky gumdrops, and welcome. So today, if you can't tell, I am out and about. I'm actually on a nature trail right now. So I just felt like I needed to get out and about. I've been trapped in my house when I'm not at work. So I figured I'd do something different. Look at the scenery. It's all green. So at the same time as I'm taking you along, I figured I'd also do the Goth tag. I want to say I've been Goth now for like the past 2 years. Solely when it comes to the music, the past year and a half though, if I'm to be quite honest. Then I found London After Midnight's Kiss, and from there it just took off. And then I listened to Lucretia, My Reflection, like all the mainstream Goth songs. When I first learned about Goth, it was following seeing My Chemical Romance. They used to dress in a gothic nature, so I did a little bit more research into it, and that was back when I was like, I don't know, 9, 10. I was introduced to it by my cousin. And sorry, I keep looking around. I'm just trying to double check and make sure that nobody's in my video with me. Being introduced into Goth, my first ideation was that it was based on rock music, before I learned that that is not what it is. Now, this is a question that I understand for aesthetics purposes. They have like certain categories. I don't have a specific subgenre that I would necessarily put myself into, because I do like Victorian fashion. I do like New Goth fashion. I do like, trad Goth fashion. I could not necessarily say that I would put myself into a specific subgenre. I do like New Goth fashion. I like comfy Goth. I like all of that. I'm always gonna go back to the music because that's where it all started. You could say it started with the Goths in the Victorian ages. In the Victorian ages, that was all for the architecture. It was architecture, and I know at one point there were Goths, but unless you're talking about being violent and selfish and self-absorbed, I don't think you want to consider yourself to be that quote-unquote Goth. Well, I dislike the stigmatism, I dislike the drama, because if anybody knows me, I hate drama, because there's so much drama in the subculture, and I wish we could all get along and be in peace. I can see how some people might say it's gatekeeping to go back to Goth music as being the basis, but it was the foundation that created the fashion. I also dislike the fact that there aren't really any Goth clubs anymore in my area or in Philly, and there used to be like a bunch. My grandmother and grandfather raised me. My grandfather has since been deceased for the past getting close to 10 years, and it still breaks my heart every day. My grandmother hates it. She hates when I wear my black lipstick. At the same time, she also has always encouraged me, even throughout everything that we've been through in my entire life. She's always encouraged me to kind of be myself. What do you guys think? I have multiple different favorite bands, but if we're talking Goth, I'm gonna go with London After Midnight. It kind of fits into the subculture a little bit, Solar Fake. I'm since learning that it's electronic music, but the lead singer came from a band called Dreadful Shadows, which I also love. If we're talking like metal bands, Bad Omens and Asking Alexandria, I've really recently just got back into Asking Alexandria. These fools being loud as hell over there. Now, at one point in time, I did kind of like his music. I didn't really know much about his personality and about what had happened in the past. Now that I know about it, I don't really support him. I don't listen to his music anymore for that reason. All my baby bad days were, of course, like exploring the music and seeing, because as you can tell, I don't really always wear makeup. It's mainly exploring the music, the fashion, finding gothic YouTubers on here just to watch and see, learning about gothic culture in general. I'd like to think it is. It's a very interesting name. It's Angelica, if you guys don't already know. That used to be my YouTube username, the Miss Angelica, but technically it's more biblical. But it is kind of unique because I've only ever met a couple of people in my life, whereas you could meet any Tom, Derek, Justin, George, John. Those are more common names. Well guys, these definitely aren't clip-ons. Why? Because it makes me unique, it makes me stand out, it makes me feel special and look a certain way, because everybody wants to have a certain image as to how the world views and sees them. Well, here's the one, and then I have a couple more up on my shoulder. Here's my rose, and here's my faded out EMT tattoo. Number one, I am Christian, exploring Christo-paganism right now. I do believe that crystals have power and healing properties, for lack of a better term. I have my EMT tattoo, obviously, because I've been an EMT for the past forever. When I first got into this field, I know I was going to be in the medical field no matter what, because I've always wanted to help people. My rose, I don't think I ever told you guys, but Memphis Mayfire has a song called The Rose, and it is one of my favorite songs about rising up with your religion. I've had people, be nice about it, but I've also had people be dicks about it and be like, there is no God. I don't understand why you believe there is a God, because there's no such thing. Show me incidents in which, God has showed you that he existed. And I believe, this is just my personal opinion, I am still here, and I did not commit suicide at 15 years old because my then boyfriend and I just had a lot of crap going on between the abuse that was in the household. My mental state just wasn't there. And I was like, alright, well, you know what, I'll still go to this church on Sunday, but if God doesn't show himself to me during the sermon, during worship, or whatever, then I'm gonna kill myself. Obviously that didn't happen, because he showed himself to me, at least, and what I believed to be was an epiphany. I can explain more about that story if you guys are interested in a different video. Well, it depends on the day. In my closet, though, I have maroons, I have purples, I have blues, I have blacks, mostly all dark. I don't wear it that often, but I would recommend Makeup Revolution. Like the Conceal and Find concealer and foundations that I did use matched my skin pretty well. They do have a skin test online. It really does blur everything out, and it really, even up close, it really doesn't look like you're wearing concealer or a foundation, at least to me. I do not always wear black to bed. I do wear black to bed on occasion, and there's always some element, whether it be checkered, gingham, whatever, that has black in it. I do kind of like the sun sometimes, not all the times though, because I do particularly like looking a little bit pale though, so I don't necessarily always like to be in the sun. Honestly, I haven't dated anybody who's goth yet. I hope to eventually in the future, because common interests and everything hopefully will align. At the same time, What I can say is it doesn't matter what culture you are, what subculture you are, what subgenre you consider yourself to be when it comes to music. It depends on the person. If you don't have a good personality, then it don't matter what any of these categories, emo scene, goth, punk, metalhead, doesn't matter those genres. Normie person. If you don't have a good personality, you're not going to be a good lover. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really do hope that you guys like this video. Stay tuned for the next one. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment, as always, if you wish to do so. And I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys. Love you. Keep on rocking.